Flight Risk is a 2025 action thriller film directed by Mel Gibson, written by Jared Rosenberg, and stars Mark Wahlberg, Topher Grace, and Michelle Docherty. The movie came out January 24th, 2025, has a runtime of 91 minutes, and had a budget of $26 million. Boy, that's a big budget for a 90-minute film like this. Now, the story and the screenplay was on the Blacklist in Hollywood. Now, if you didn't know, the Blacklist is an annual survey of the most liked screenplays not yet produced in the industry. Now, it tells a story about a U.S. Deputy Marshal played by Michelle Docherty, who goes by Madeline Harris, who is transporting an informant who is going to turn state's evidence against a mob boss. The informant is played by Topher Grace, who goes by Winston in this. And what they don't know is that the pilot of the plane is Daryl Booth, played by Mark Wahlberg, who is actually hired as a hitman to take out the informant. This film from start to finish is really, really interesting. It has a 90s action feel to it, which is really, really good. The dialogue, very drawn out. And the crazy thing is, and the marketing for this, is Mark Wahlberg going bald for this movie. And yes, he did shave his head for this movie. It's not a bald cap. The action sequences could have been a little bit better and a little more. Once it happened, it just slowed down. And then a character's trying to figure out something. But then it's like, who can you trust? Who can you not trust? Should you trust the hitman? Should you trust the informant? Is the U.S. Deputy Marshal in on it as well? It's like a who's who of, okay, is this real or not real? What is interesting is that you haven't seen Mark Wahlberg play a bad guy since Fear back in 1996, which is one of the craziest portrayals of a actor I've seen in a movie in a long time. Mark Wahlberg in Fear was essential cinema at its finest, where he just played a psychotic boyfriend. Haven't seen him do a role like that up until now, Flight Risk. And I feel like he kind of channels that Fear character into this in a different way. He's sadistic, he's psychotic, and it just fits the mold. The film is very, very entertaining. It's not good, but it's entertaining. And I will say, it's not Mel Gibson's best work. His best work is Braveheart, and we know that, and let's put that aside. This isn't his best work at all. The screenplay by Jared Rosenberg does need some tweaking as well. It's not the best. There are moments where a character says something and you're like, really? Oh, they just said that? Okay. And then it kind of breaks the tension, but then it goes to, like, they never said it in the next scene. And then the action picks up. It's an interesting thing where it's like, all right, after they subdue the hitman, they are kind of forced to fly together, where they figure out after discovering that there are others' attempts to eliminate them. So the hitman is not the only person going after them. And it's like, oh, 3 characters in a movie, 5,000 feet in the air, what can go wrong? Well, for a movie, a lot can go wrong. Like I said, it's interesting, it's fun. The idea for a movie like this is great, but the execution just wasn't there. You will leave the theater not wanting more, I will say that, and you will go into it being like, oh, an action thriller. All right, let's see what's going to happen. 3 big names in this film: Wahlberg, Docherty, Grace. And it's like, Topher Grace felt like he was not the right part for this. You could have, flipped the roles a little bit with him and Mark Wahlberg, but Michelle Docherty is great as an actress. She's coming into her own. And for Mel Gibson, but I mean, let's put that aside a little bit. If he just directs certain movies, great. He needs to just direct his own films that he writes. Don't direct other films. I mean, he's up and down with his career as we know about it. He's done Braveheart, like I stated, Hacksaw Ridge, and many other films that he has in his filmography. But for a 91-minute, $26 million budget action thriller, could have been a little bit better, and it just didn't hit the mark. For me, Flight Risk gets 2 out of 5 film reels. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about Flight Risk. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What do you think about the aspect of the story, the characters, the acting? Who was your favorite? Who was your least favorite? Do you think more could have been done with the movie? What do you think about Mel Gibson's directing? And what did you think about Mark Wahlberg playing a bad guy for a first time in a very, very long time? And what do you think could have been done differently with this movie? Let me know in the comment section about all the questions I just asked. I'm Mr. Filmstock. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next review video.